On today's episode, we welcome Nina Mladenovski and Aurelije Zovko, co-founder of Zenia Graph. Welcome to you both.
Thank you for
you.
having us.
So, what made you start your business, and what's a bit of a background of you both?
Sure, I can start. So, I have a background in management, marketing, and international business. I have my MBA in management. And to be honest, I never thought I was going to go into tech. So, growing up, my father, he's been in IT for over 30 years. He was always telling me it's a great space to be. It's a lot of innovation, a lot of opportunities that some other tracks and some other, career choices might not have. And I never listened to him. And here we are 15 years later, and I'm in IT. So I started off at MongoDB right after my MBA. And honestly, there I had a firsthand experience with how much technology can impact just, even daily life and how many cool things are being done, especially with the big boom of AI and that bubble. It's really interesting to be part of that. And really, I've learned a lot in this industry. So I think it's a good place to be. And especially for, newer professionals, there's going to be a lot more opportunities, especially with how quickly technology is changing in the future. So for me, it's really interesting to be in the space.
What about you, AZ?
Yes, hardcore technologist, over 30 years, well over 30 years. Doing AI, very similar. I did my master 1986, 1987 in AI, so all the way through AI and work for the small. I had a couple of startups, worked for big companies. I was CIO, CTO, architect. So kind of many things together. And last 3 years, charging Zenia Graph AI, and it's my passion. And now I'm full time with the startup. So really looking forward what's coming in industry and how AI is changing all our lives.
And how did you guys got together for the start of this business?
So AZ is actually my father. So it is a
Okay.
father-daughter company. Yeah. Honestly, it was just the right time. Like AZ mentioned, he's been in the industry for a long time. And with the AI boom, we wanted to be a part of that. So it's been close to 3 years, end of April, beginning of May. It'll be officially 3 years for Zenia Graph. And like I mentioned, being early on in my career, I don't think I would have gotten the exposure and really put on a lot of different hats as I have in this role in any other company, honestly.
Hmm. And what made you think, AZ, that was like the good moment? What did you saw maybe from your experience from like the internet that started like 20 years ago? Did you saw that pattern coming back again and you're like, oh, this is something we have to go on to?
Yeah, exactly. I was in big insurance company. I was leading all automation and a lot of AI ML work, but ChatGPT just get out and understood the potential. And when you think about automation and augmentation and a lot of work with the classical ML models, looking capabilities of ChatGPT was just that was the idea. This will change everything and how we do things and all that interface between the computers and how people do work. And that was the idea, really spark idea to start our company and use our expertise building these solutions to provide that expertise to clients.
And how do you guys would describe like how do you help SMBs with all that data AI? What's the description of you guys' work basically?
Sure. So I think we're definitely a niche IT consulting company. So in the AI boom, a lot of companies have big promises. They want to use AI, and there are a lot of applications. But with an added layer of knowledge graphs, large language models, and machine learning that we combine, that power really creates a lot of different variations in our solutions. It makes it more agile. We're able to help clients really on a use case to use case basis. It's not a one solution fits all. So we can really customize and bring a solution that will be impactful for that specific client instead of trying to manage one platform. One shoe does not fit all. So we really have that more capabilities with the technology stack that we're using currently. And we really help small to medium sized businesses that are looking to grow with data automation, data privacy, compliance, and even just building knowledge graphs for our clients.
And what is a knowledge graph, just so people kind of know what it is?
Sure. So this actually took me a little bit. I'm not from a tech background. So trying to find the right way to explain a knowledge graph, I would say it's basically the brain of any solution. So it's an added layer of context. So if I said the word bat, bat could mean an animal or it could mean like the baseball bat. Or if I use the word park, it could mean I need to park my car or I'm going to the park to have a picnic. So one word can mean a lot of different things, even in a different business sector. For HR or sales, one word can mean different things. So what a knowledge graph does is it contextualizes, gives context to data. So it's not just a boring Excel sheet where you look at one piece of line and you have to understand how it connects to something else. A knowledge graph does that for you. You use a knowledge graph every day. So if you've used Google Maps to find a restaurant or a new place to go, that knowledge graph is being used in the back end. Yep.
And does that does that help like businesses and small businesses into their daily work, and how does that bring them like a positive with all of that?
Yep. AZ. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's all about data and how you use data. And as we all know, we have so much data and we store this data. We have emails, we have files, we have documents, we have some databases. And the biggest challenge is when someone wants to do something, right? He need to search for data. He need to find the data, what I call semantically, right? If I say I'm looking for park, right, I should find that information. So we build that knowledge graph, that semantic layer, and then the simplest way that you can easily find context or whatever you need using uh, that semantics, and then build automation around that, right? If you say I need to create email, right, and data is some files, I have some legacy documents, I have a lot of other things, right? We can find all this information together, we can present it, we summarize, and then we can say this is probably the best response for that email, as the simplest examples I can find.
Hmm. And from your experience, AZ, I we talk a lot about data, like people basically just bring that now. Do you think data was like a subjects that people was talking about before AI, or AI just made it come in way more like before AI? Was data a thing that people were looking at a little bit, or not really?
Yeah, data is always the data, right? And with classical models, even building application, data was key. And we usually say if it's garbage in, it will be garbage out. But now with large language models, and then when you have so much more data, you know how to control that, what is in and what is going out. And but it's all about data, and the key to successfully deliver any AI project or to help any automation or help small businesses, the key start with data, that you semantically describe data, and then you provide correct data to AI that produce answers for you.
And would you say it's always better to just concentrate on having better data before implementing AI, or it's something that you can do at the same time of like implementing AI and then managing your data after?
Yeah, it's very similar now, just with so much new AI models and LLMs, you can synthetically generate the data. But fairly, it's the same process, just maybe faster, maybe you're doing differently, but it's the same common things, right? You need to understand your data, clean it, prepare it, semantically connected, and as before as today.
And is there any misconception that business has towards AI that they don't think about for their operations or anything like that?
If I can add
Yeah.
before AZ goes into the technical aspect, I think from my end, I have some, professional friends in my network and just, on my personal scale that are afraid of AI, that don't completely understand how AI will change their specific job and role. And a lot of people are afraid that it'll completely take over and they won't have a job maybe in a year to 5 years. And I want to say that we don't understand yet the full capabilities of AI. And before fearing something, we should understand it and really use it to our best abilities. It can really help in a lot of ways. I mean, they have robots now doing surgeries and never making a mistake. They'll never get tired, never need a break, you know? So there's a lot of ways that AI will, on a daily basis, be able to help us. That's coming very soon. So I think that fear is a little misplaced at times. AI
Mm.
can do a lot of good if we use it properly. So that's where the ethics comes in. And if we all together, you know, small companies to big companies, utilize AI in a smart and ethical way, I think it'll only help us instead of cause, you know, losses of jobs and whatnot. But that's just my 2 cents on it.
Just on that, we are seeing layoff in like big businesses right now.
Yes.
You hear about it a little bit from AI,
Yes.
but am surprised that people are still afraid from it because it's actually like you kind of need that to be in the realm of your industry. So that do people usually when you get with them have that fear and then you have to like change their mindset into implementing is a good thing, or it's always like are they sometimes more open? And because you mentioned your friends were kind of scared, but as like your clients, are they like open to it, or is it always like a scarcity to go with AI with them?
I would say more open. So the clients and prospective clients that we talk to, there's more acceptance because everybody is now starting to use AI. And if you're not using AI, you might fall behind or not be
Absolutely.
as efficient and competitive in the market if you're not using AI. So I think in terms of the industries that we're hitting, fintech, finance, insurance, wealth management, venture capital firms, more so they're open to the possibilities that AI can help them be operationally efficient and also give them a competitive edge in their specific markets.
I think that's a good point. I'm just gonna add a little bit easy before. It's like now we're kind of seeing what AI can actually do instead of a couple of years ago, you just say AI and you try it with something and it just doesn't do what it's supposed to do. So I guess even you guys are probably doing that now that you're actually using system that makes thing happen and that actually bring ROI and bring a help to the business and not just like an LLM that kind of do something. So how do you guys manage to bring those good project to those businesses?
Yeah, it is a common, delivering project production didn't change. It's just new tools. And just to add on previous topic, uh, you know, AI and especially LLMs are so big new technology. Everybody is realizing it will change our lives. But the challenge is, how to apply it, and there is no skills, and it's so new, it's changing every day. So that anxiety and kind of pressure because of that new technology and disruption, right? And really finding the proper way to deliver project in production. But for us, it is very common practice. You need to do as always we did to understand requirements, to know technology, how to apply it, and really deliver value in small steps, deliver value to customer, right? So that's kind of our motto, right? We will always ensure that we use a proper technology and proper LLMs and models to do bring value, and that's how we're delivering right now and succeeding, or because just following the normal process.
Is it hard to stay focused on one kind of technology when there's so many coming out always? It's always like a new thing, a new golden shining something that you can maybe try. Is it hard to just focus on one and concentrate on that? Or there's like challenges sometimes it's like, oh, maybe this is better, maybe this is better. How do you guys manage all of that?
Yeah, it's extremely hard even for myself. And it's like every day new model is coming, everything is changing. And if you're building something right now, you know that in 3 months, majority of stuff model will do for you, right? So it is huge challenge, but our philosophy is that we try to do simple things, right? We use AI to augment and for some things not really proper. So we pick the use cases where we know that current technology and proven models working well when deliver, and just give a room that things will change, that we can refactor and bring more features.
Hmm. So coming back to the misconception, the question that we asked just prior, was there any misconception that business still have for the AI that think that maybe one of those systems kind of work more than the other one, or what does that look like for SMBs?
Yeah, I think big misconception is that they're thinking that LLMs are intelligent. They're not intelligent yet, by far. They do good job, and the newest trends in industry, they're really saying that because they are trained on text and words, that text and words cannot describe the physical environment, right? That's why they're not that intelligent, and a lot of new things coming to change that. But I think what they're very good is that they can do many things, and I what we advise our clients, they use it as augmentation, right? It's helping you. It's always human in the loop. You go and look and check what's going on, right? You check if you agree, and then you execute, right? So that's the biggest value. Just quick example. Maybe a year and a half, I was at a conference, and people are extremely skeptic, and they ask me, "Az, what do you think about LLMs? Are they going to fail or not?" And I said, "No, not going to fail. You just need to use this technology to write use cases, and these models will evolve and will do more and more." And that's right now you can see it's exactly true.
And where do you guys see the biggest impact of those? I think you mentioned HR was one of your aim point. So do you see a big impact for like sales, customer support, HR? What's the biggest angle that business kind of use it?
I mean, I think a lot of business processes are going to be fundamentally more efficient and better business decision making with the use of this technology, not just AI on its own, but the combination and how you use that combination to really make a certain use case or project effective. As AZ was mentioning, how you use the tools, in what extent, really does make an impact on how successful that project will be. So we do have two use cases currently for sales and HR that really automate and simplify those two processes. Handling data, making sure the data quality is efficient so that you're not spending hours and hours on manual work. You're focusing more so on, tasks that would really impact those areas and your business overall. But we are moving into the space of data privacy and data compliance risk. So there, it's very interesting. There's a lot of applications that this new technology can be used to secure your data better, comply with new regulations. I mean, even AI. There's a lot in our law and in our governance that doesn't really cover all the applications or possibilities of AI just yet. So being able to move through that quickly, especially larger corporations, they're going to have to adopt new ways to automate, make sure that data is private so that they're not falling behind. So it's an interesting space that we're getting into.
And do you guys have to train employees at the same time as implementing new AI system for them to kind of know how to use it? Because it's always like the human in the chain is kind of like the weakest now with all the technology in. So do you have like a practical thing to make them actually know how to use it, what not to do? That's something you guys do, is just maybe themselves that have to do it on their own.
No, no, we have complete training for the new employees, a couple of weeks training, and even when they onboard on the project, they have a kind of working with someone else until get understanding, and yeah, and everybody is learning, including myself. Almost like every week, I try to learn something new. So that's constant, right? So, and we have whole program for that.
Nice. And I think you guys mentioned on our last call that you did accelerators for Salesforce and HR data a little bit. Can you walk us through some example that you guys did with that, how they work for the client, how they did change their part?
Or of course. So, it very basic, a couple of sentences for both. Salesforce, our accelerator, it's not just for Salesforce. We've just noticed that many companies use Salesforce, but it's really for any CRM platform. And what we do is we take data from multiple platforms. So Zoom Info, Yahoo Finance, LinkedIn, Crunchbase. If you have more data, internal or external, like you're paying for Apollo or similar systems, we can ingest all of that data, clean it for you, and put it on one platform. You have a set of criteria that you plug in, let's say years of operation, ROI, number of employees. That's also very customizable depending on your sales cycle or even the industry, let's say you're hitting, it changes slightly. So once you click that button, you're getting a list of new leads in your CRM that are clean and relevant for what you're looking for. You never have to go outside, spend, sometimes even days of manual research qualifying a new lead. And with the addition of knowledge graphs and LLMs, we have a similarity button. So let's say you're looking at a company, Chubb, and you want similar companies to Chubb. You select Chubb in your Salesforce platform and you click that similarity button. In a couple of seconds, you'll find similar companies to that lead. Again, instead of going outside of your platform, you're doing everything on your CRM for that qualification and lead research portion. So it really simplifies, it cuts costs, and you make sure that that data is relevant to what you're looking for in your sales cycle. Very similarly, our HR accelerator simplifies the HR recruitment process. So I'm not sure if you've ever had to hire somebody, but AZ has gone through this cycle multiple times. And, sometimes you have thousands of resumes that you have to
Mm.
shift through. You're not going to be able to get through all of them or give them the time of day that might be needed to find that right person. With our platform and accelerator, it reads through all of these resumes, finds the most relevant candidate. Likewise, on the flip side, if you're a candidate looking for a job, it can go through multiple job postings to find the most relevant job for what you're looking for. You plug in very similarly to our sales accelerator, a set of criteria. And in a couple of seconds, instead of days of that manual process, you're able to find the right candidate for the role or the right role for if you are a candidate. So again, that saves HR a ton of time and hopefully reduces, churn and retention for positions, because I think we're seeing that a lot more these days. People are moving companies a lot quicker, and retaining top talent, the right fit is very very important for companies.
And have you guys used that any of those systems to for yourself, for your own business, or for your own like finding recruits? How did that went with all the AI things and everything?
Yeah, so we use it internally as well. The partners that we have also have access to this as well. So it really, cutting costs and time. I think time is the most, in a small business, time means everything. So if we don't have to spend so much time looking through resumes, looking at potential leads, it really, really does have an impact when you're a small team, especially. Yeah.
And for the leads part, is there any part of enhancement of those leads when they come in? Because I sometimes you create like a list on Apollo, let's say, and then you get the data from it, and you're like, ah, it's kind of good, but like not really. And then you do your cold email or you do your cold calling, and you just realize like this is not it's not the best. So how do you guys like manage to that to not happen when you guys create those leads for that system?
Well, I would add maybe AZ can give a little bit more technical background to it, but we have a score. So with the LLMs and knowledge graphs, as I mentioned, that data is not only clean, but it scores how similar it is to what you're looking for. So that criteria is very customizable. We can add or take out anything that a client might need. So it could be very extensive. We can have 30 points of comparison that you're looking for, and that similarity score really shows you, it makes it more relevant to what you're looking for. And AZ, if you have anything to add.
Yeah, and on another side, because we're ingesting a lot of data sources, we have a criteria and formula where you can say, from this data source, I trust their revenue. From this data source, I trust their phone number. So we clean data, we create what is called the golden data set. But again, that all, if you don't have a good sources, you will not have a good phone number to call, right? So we have that feedback loop where you can say this is not good leads. So we're going back to our model, right? So when we do similarity, we'll say, okay, this is a lot of false positives. Phone numbers are not good, or revenue is not good, or sector is not good. So the score will be less in criteria. So it's always that loop going back and forth.
Hmm. And is it like an easy plug and play? You just kind of put what you want and then you just go and search it, or how does it work for like someone that's not technical that wants to use it? Is it like kind of easy or is it kind of hard? Like, what does it look like?
Yeah, so non-technical person here as well. It's fairly
Yeah.
fairly easy to use. We even have a demo version on the Salesforce App Exchange for anybody interested in trying it out to see if it would be something useful for them. And honestly, if you've been in a CRM system before, like Salesforce, and you know how to use it, this is just an additional couple of clicks that you can, really easily add into your day-to-day, work.
Hmm. Okay. So that's nice. So what's working well for the business on your part right now, or in the last? I think you said 3 years. You're in the business.
Yes.
So what went well for the business, basically?
Sure. So I think what's working well is definitely the technology that we use. So everyone's using AI. I think we mentioned this before, but it's how you use it. And I think the combination with knowledge graphs, large language models, natural language processing, all those technical terms, it really simplifying how we do things. And I think the secret sauce that Zenia Graph has is how quickly we're able to turn use cases and projects around for our clients. I want to say about 60 to 70% of our accelerators automation tools are there and ready to go. So that customization part is really, really quick. So you're not waiting months or even a year to see the value of what we can deliver. It's an immediate impact on your business. And also just being able to educate people on how knowledge graphs differentiate not only Zenia Graph, but can differentiate them in a competitive sense in their market has been really interesting. I'm learning as well as while they're learning. So it's been, like I said, I don't think I would have grown as much as I did professionally in any other role than I did at Zenia Graph. So that's my take. Maybe AZ, you have something a little different.
Yeah, and touching again, I think our hiring process and that spending like 3 4 weeks for new hires, having whole curriculum and program to kind of get them on the speed, not just on the speed of general technology, but how we do the projects, and hold that process, putting them in the project. It's very working well for us. So we deliver a couple of projects using LLMs in production on time. So just you always know that you need a good team and kind of cohesive team which are well trained working together. So this is really working well for us. And then what Nina said, a big differentiator is our knowledge in knowledge graph and semantics, which you really need it for any AI new LLM work. So that's working well because we are trying we with this technology we improving our implementation and customers really like it.
Do you guys go with private LLMs for the project that you have, or do you guys use public LLM and then connect to their system? How do you manage that for that?
Most public LLMs, maybe a year ago, was a lot of private LLMs. Again, it's an option. It's really not big change for us. Sometimes, depending which LLM you use, you need to change prompts and how you do stuff. But our accelerators, you can really pick the model, and we can use private or private or public, and it's around cost and what you want to do. But it's very flexible.
That's good. And what's been the challenges of the business on the flip side for you guys?
Yeah, challenge is knowledge. So, um, knowledge graphs are a newer term, even though AI has been thrown around a lot lately. We're not solely or only talking with tech professionals or people on the IT side of things. In sales you do talk to a lot of other business areas, so just teaching them how valuable a knowledge graph is and just the basic applications of it, that's been a learning curve. The best way to present it, AZ is very technical, he has a lot of knowledge, and then on the flip side I'm newer into the technical acumen and side, so finding that middle ground between our two areas and how to present it well to a new client, that's been a learning curve. But as we go on hitting year 3 now, we're starting to get into a better flow, and I think people are more willing to try new things, new ways of differentiating themselves, which I think, for other startups and people looking to get into the market, it's a really interesting time to be a part of it.
And do those CEOs that you guys talk with kind of want to know the technical, or they just want like give me the black box that gives me new money, and then I don't really want to understand it, all of it, or are they more curious about kind of understanding the technical behind it?
Yeah, they are very curious, and because it's
Okay.
strategic, I think there is a pressure from board and everywhere that using AI, and we know it will change everything. So it is pressure. So they're going deep. They like to understand, and our biggest challenge there is really, really, you know, convincing that the Gen AI LLMs will work for their use case because they don't have a trust, and they don't have too much time for failures, right? So they spend a lot of times with us, and most of time I do go very, very deep on technology and guardrails and hallucination and why is that use case good or not, and how are we going to deliver value to the business.
And they're good to understand because sometimes, like when you talk, let's say, with like a construction company and you start talking tech, it's like even for me, sometimes people will use terms and I'm just like, I don't know what that means. Like I don't understand what you're saying right now. So do people kind of understand it, or because you just simplify it the way so they can manage to understand it properly?
Yeah, so we definitely try to simplify it and make it applicable because if you're talking with someone, a new client, and you're not making it applicable to them, they're not going to really care about what you're saying, even if you're
Yeah, no.
saying it in a manner that's excellent or perfect. So it's really finding that perfect middle ground where
Hmm.
it entices them to want to learn more. But I think with the AI bubble happening right now, everybody is interested to get a little piece or to use it in some way or fashion for their business. So I think a lot of people are understanding that if you don't use AI in some capacity, you might not be as profitable in the next couple of years as compared to your competition that will be using it, you know?
And
Absolutely.
and what we promise in 2 weeks we'll do POC and provide the value. So sometimes, yeah, technology stuff, but we are very fast. Just an example, I did a complete new project over the weekend. Everything is working. So capabilities to provide the POC and value and show them, how it's going to work. It's very important, and we are very quick, right? So that's kind of our bridge. We'll say, listen, this is your problem. We'll come back in 2 weeks. We'll show you how it's working, and then you can make a decision.
So you kind of look at them, you give them a test or a little demo of like what they're gonna have quickly, because sometimes it can take like a month or two, and then they're losing time and they just lose interest. So you guys give that quickly, and then they can see actually what it's gonna do, and then they can move forward with it in the next, I don't know, month or whatever how long it takes to then customize it to them.
It's very
Understand.
use case by use case basis, but we can really show value quickly, which I think is another differentiator for Zenia Graph. We have a good base to go off, and we really try to show clients what can be done.
Hmm. So what's the big future vision for the next 2026, 6 to 12 months?
Yeah. So I mean, we're looking to grow. Who doesn't want to grow as a small business, right? I don't think anybody would have a very different answer, but honestly, we're trying to get into, like I mentioned, business, not just business automation, but data privacy, data compliance, be able to really push the boundaries of AI and knowledge graphs and what they can do. So, experimenting, seeing how we can apply those in a very fast paced changing world. And I think also, the hope for the future in maybe 12 to 2 years would be to move into um, uh, complete systems and services, not just consultation, but creating products, product lines, and really expanding the business. So we're playing around to see which avenue is the best, but growth, always growth on the mindset.
Good. And is it the same for you, AZ? Is good on the technical side. What does it look like?
Well, technical side, the lot of reasoning capabilities are coming, and like they can do a lot of helpful things, right? So really, it's to investigate how that will impact what we have and how to advise clients, because change is coming constantly, right? But reasoning part is, big, big, big change right now. So really trying to figure out that part and how to deliver a project based on that.
Well, before we close, is there anywhere that listeners can talk with you, get in contact with you? LinkedIn, website, where can they go?
Yeah, of course. So, zeniagraph.ai is our website. You can contact us through there. We also have a YouTube channel if you search Zenia Graph. Likewise, on LinkedIn, we have our profile there, or even just reaching out to myself or AZ on LinkedIn. We'll be happy to reply and see how we can help you best.
All right. Yeah. What's for you, AZ? Could they reach you somewhere?
Yeah, same.
Same.
Yes.
Perfect. So thanks for your time. I really appreciate the conversation, and I hope everything goes well for you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so
Thank
much.
you.
Thanks.